welcome to my channel. So today we'll do another vlog. So this time I'm trying something new and I'm gonna make it actually a little bit longer so you guys can see the whole process of tacking up, untacking, and all this stuff. So to start with, we had Hazel in the pasture and that's why she's wearing her fly veil right here. So I'm just gonna take it off so it's a bit more comfortable for her. She also had a fly blanket, but I removed it as soon as I got in the barn just because it's so dusty and I don't really like her wearing it other than outside. So as always, I always take care of her hoof first. Hoof health is really important for a horse. You really want to make sure that the hoofs are clean. There's no debris, no rocks in there. In her case, she had mud. It was a day following a rainfall, so it was pretty muddy out there. So just to make it a bit better for her, I just scraped her hoof a little bit or brushed them out on the outside, as well as picking them up and cleaning the underside as well. Same thing for the boots. Since she's wearing boots outside, they are a bit heavy because of the humidity. So it's always good to kind of remove them and let the hoof dry. So I noticed she had braids in and they were starting to get a little bit itchy for her. So I actually took them out and I realized that she needed a good brushing in there. Her mane was pretty thick and a bit matted at the bottom of the hair. So it kind of pulls on her and makes her a little bit uncomfortable. So I'm just spending a bit of time just brushing it and making her a little bit more comfortable with that mane being untangled now. So another thing I do, actually not as frequently as the mane, I actually brush the tail a little bit to make sure all the hair is not clumping in there and that all the hair are actually separated, and that helps her as well with the flies. Since it's a very buggy season and there's lots of fly out there, she's kind of whipping her tail all day and sometimes it creates little mats and tangles in there, so I just want to make sure it's brushed and that she will be comfortable. Also to note that I have put some conditioner in the tail and the mane before brushing them both. I am using a medium coarse brush for her tail, so it's nothing that's going to pull the hair out of her tail at all. It's soft enough to just kind of detangle without creating too much of a problem. Spend some time on the dock of the tail as well, just because they tend to rub when they are uncomfortable, make sure that it's also clean under the tail, just to make sure that's not the cause, you know, for the horse to rub their bum against their stall or to damage their tail. So you always want to double check underneath as well. And now I'm going to spend some time on the mane. As you can see, I just pulled out her braids, and she is quite itchy, so she's quite happy that I'm actually brushing her hair. It's not the easiest and smoothest glide for the brush, but we're not pulling that much mane hair out, so that's actually good. I'm also super happy she lets me brush her forelock. She usually tends to have some kind of little dandruffy flakes in there, so I just want to put my hand in there, check out and see if the roots are good, and just give it a nice quick brush. Time to get into the warm-ups. So we are doing some Pessoa today. If you haven't seen my previous video, this is a system of ropes that actually help the horse to balance themselves out in different gaits, and that really helps them to kind of keep the right shape for a rider to eventually ride them. So it's teaching the horse to basically kind of lean on the right way on the bit and things like that. So I really like the system and been using it for the past 2 years now. It really helped us actually work her back in a nice fashion there, and get some muscle gain in there, and actually her back is a little bit better because of it. She's learned so much, like lowering her head as she's doing right now. This is exactly what we want her to do, is to kind of put her neck down and raise her belly up, and like that it would help as soon as she gets a rider on. So another really important thing when you're doing some Pessoa is actually to keep it short and make sure you make it even on both sides. So you want to make sure they go on the left and on the right, just to make sure you're not actually creating an imbalance in the muscle there. So you're going to be muscling one side, and you want to make sure you muscle the other side as well. And it's actually really good as well for them, just because they have two sides of their brains, and that trains both sides. So right now I will be changing the alignment of the ropes. By changing the alignment, what it does, it basically creates a whole other different exercise for the horse. So it just is gonna ask basically from the horse to move in a different way, and then therefore work out some different muscle groups. And I like to just change it to position 1, which is the initial position, and this is position 2. We don't go into 3 and 4. I think there's 4 or 5 positions. We don't go to the more advanced ones, just because it's not really necessary for us. We're just really trying to just keep the muscle like maintained and everything. So this position here really helps with the back end of the horse to work the back legs a little bit more. So you always want to make sure you give your horse enough time to kind of analyze and gauge the ropes before actually pushing them to go to a different gait. You just want to get them to assess how it is, the tension and everything. So even if sometimes I push her to go a little bit forward because I know she can physically do it, I still leave her some time to kind of assess the tool and see what she can do and how she has to balance herself. So I push her, and then if I see that she's struggling, I kind of let her walk a little bit more, and then try to push her again, just to give her enough time to kind of figure it out. So as you can see, once she is comfortable, she can actually pick up a trot. As soon as she's trying to pick up a canter, I usually stop her. The point of this exercise here is not to canter with the system, it's really to get her to focus on the appropriate kind of position that I want her to do. So if she can do it at the walk and the trot, then that's good. And then as soon as I know she's able to physically handle the canter, maybe we'll go there. But if not, I'd rather get her to canter on a just regular lunge line rather than with the system. I find it's a bit better for both of us and it's a bit more efficient that way. So a good Pessoa session is under 20 minutes. So you want to make sure you do 10 minutes on each side, and if you want to change the sittings, you can maybe push it to 30 minutes at the max, but making sure that you assess what your horse is able to do and not push them too much with the system. You really have to build the actual time that you're spending on this system, so gradually kind of increasing it. We are now back at the barn and we are changing her whole outfit. So we will be putting polo wraps, saddle pads, bell boots, and we will go with the whole dressage saddle set. I'm just trying here my new PS of Sweden collection here. It's the limited edition from this summer, and this is the color mint. So it's actually looking pretty great against her robe. So I can't wait for you guys to see the final look. Here we are, making sure everything is secure and good to go. Making sure that the buckles are well buckled on both sides and that the girth is actually like tight enough for me to ride with her. So as you can see, she's looking pretty sharp, and I'll see you soon in the actual arena where I can show you what we did. So here we are in the arena. Unfortunately, I accidentally pressed the time-lapse button on my camera, and therefore it's going to be a little bit faster paced than I want the video to be, but that's the best I could do with the edits here. So I'm just hopping on, and I will be doing a little bit of different figures, just trying to get her to relax in like her actually mouth, and also make sure that she's lowering her head. So it takes a little bit of time for her to be comfortable, but this time around she's actually responding way better to my hands and leg commands, so I'm kind of quite pleased with it. This is her second ride post-COVID, so we're doing pretty great, and this time we're actually doing a little bit of trotting, and she seems to be handling it really well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little short clip of me riding my horse. After a nice riding session, it's time to remove everything. We start with my helmet. It was so hot that day and humid, so I'm always quite pleased to remove my helmet right away, and then I make sure that my horse is comfortable as well, because I know she's hot as well. So I'm gonna try to remove everything as fast and as possible, and I will eventually bring her to the shower, just because I can see she's pretty hot. as always, Hazel did really well. She did really well with the Pessoa exercise, and she still did really well under saddle. I could see a nice progress in there, and so therefore she deserves a nice little treat. And it's gonna be, I think, one of those limited edition summer ice cream hearts from Northern Equestrian Co. And as you can see, she really enjoys it. Now, time for the shower. One of Hazel and I's favorite moments of the day. It's always giving her a nice shower. As you can see, there's a lot of sweat marks. We did both of us sweat. If I could have went with her in the shower, I would have probably done so. It was so humid, you guys, just because it rained the day before and the humidity was still all in the air. So she is really enjoying this nice and relaxing cold shower. So she is pretty satisfied there. Just noted that I'm not using soap this time, as I gave her a bath, I believe, the week before. So no soap on this one, it's just a nice little wash. This is it for this week's vlogs. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.